Good morning, good morning. It is Sunday morning and it is a beautiful day here in Tallahassee. A little bit chilly, but a beautiful day. I'm hoping that right now that I am on public. That's what I set it up for. So unlike last Sunday when I got started and I was actually talking to myself because I had set everything up as I really try to do. Okay, Ruth is watching, so I know I am now on. Paley, yay! You are the first one to say good morning. So, congratulations to you. You have a card, and you will be having another card again. Catherine, okay, let me get that down. Yes, yes, very good. So, this is a wonderful morning. It's a little chilly, but it's a wonderful morning here in Tallahassee. I am so happy that I am getting everything set up today. Yes, made it today, made it Friday. See, you're here, Peggy Lee, so that's the most beautiful part. Thank you, thank you. This was an interesting event last Sunday. And thank goodness Ruth is there to back me up because I don't know what I would do without Ruth. She is just amazing. So she kind of monitors what I'm doing. And I've been so careful about setting up the Facebook Live and making sure that I'm on public. Last Sunday I did that. And as soon as I got started, there was a message that came across that said somehow tarot went against their sensibilities, we'll say, for Facebook. And it really was that when I set up the bit.ly link for Tarot Gallery, the words separated in autocorrect. So that caused confusion for Facebook. So I removed that from my screen so I could be functioning here. And somehow it changed it so that I was just having a televised event to me. Not anybody else. Hey, Veronica. All right. Let me just check this out. No, I'm almost afraid to do this because sometimes oops. Let me just get that done. So, Angie and I saw Veronica come in at about the same time, so I'm just going to do 4 cards. It's just so much easier if I do it that way. It helps me out a whole lot because if I start oh no, I'm not going to touch anything. If I start touching anything, will happen like last week. So here we go. This is an eventful time. I don't even have to tell you that. This is such an eventful time. And the aspects and the astrological aspects about it really lend itself to all of that. And we have control. The most important part that I want to say right now is we have control over everything. Anything that's happening now, we have control over how we react to it. That's why I'm saying be careful with how much media you watch. Be careful with how much commentary you watch. It's because sometimes it's so much information that it creates an unsettling feeling within us and a fear within us in how we feel life is going to proceed for the future. So let's start first with what's happening today. Today is the 17th. The sun is still in Capricorn, and the new moon that was on the 14th was conjunct Pluto. So that gave us an opportunity, because I'm always going to focus on the opportunities because we've got those negativity comments out there, the negative comments are out there, but let's focus on how we can feel and how we actually can have an impact on what's going on. So that then was about control and how we're taking all the things we've learned to move forward with control and discipline. Now, if you are aware of it and you understand it, you can take these unsettling energies and move forward with some sense of control and discipline. But for those people that don't understand it, and there are some that don't, and they're just feeling the energies and reacting to it without taking stock of who they are and how they really want to interact with others. We don't have control over that. We only have control over how we feel. And those energies that we have right now, we can send out into the universe in good intentions, and that's what I'm urging for this week, because there's a lot going on. Today the moon is in Pisces, and it's right there with Neptune, and so it's going to be a day of inspiration. It's going to be a day of feeling good and seeing and creating how you see what you're doing and what you're feeling. And there's even going to be a sense of accomplishment. And the accomplishment doesn't have to be necessarily a physical act that you did, like cleaning out a closet. That physical accomplishment can be, you know what, things are going well, I feel good. What's happening outside is not going to interfere with how I feel today and how I feel about myself. That's a sense of accomplishment. So that alone, it doesn't have to be a physical act. It can just be a feeling. It can be a thought. So later today, Jupiter squares Uranus. And I talked about it last Sunday because I had my dates wrong. I thought it was in the 14th, but that wasn't happening on the 14th. It's happening today. So that's happening later this afternoon. And you're going to feel some sudden change in how you feel about those things that you possess. Uranus is in Taurus. Taurus rules the second house of good feelings and how we feel about ourselves and self-confidence and possessions and what we value. It's not just about money, it's also what we value, because money is energy in terms of value. So here we go, enjoying what you're doing with a sense of accomplishment. We already talked about that. So with this Jupiter square Uranus, that's going to bring up some sense of inspiration and a feel of a sudden change in thought or a sudden change in direction of what you value. We're hearing a lot of things are coming up. So it's not just about, oh my gosh, I've got another big money expenditure. Yeah, that can be part of it. But if we're talking about what you value, that has a lot to do with it as well. Value can be your direction in life, your purpose in life, people that are around you. What do you value? And if it's something that involves a possession that all of a sudden you found out has a great value, you might even sell it and earn something on it. So it has nothing to do with anything specific when we talk about value, but it is an expansion of that value. Now that's a double-edged sword. That could be another big bill that just came in. Okay, I had checked with something that's happening with the ceiling in my kitchen, and it might be a leak. Well, if I chose to get excited about this and said, oh my God, I got to replace the roof, I got to do this, I could go off on that tangent. But I'm choosing to see all of it working out for my highest good, and whatever happens, it's all going to be okay. It's all going to be okay. Because bottom line, I have a house that I have to repair. I mean, I own a home. I live in a beautiful place. So all of those things are a positive. It's not necessarily a negative. So it all depends on how you value your thoughts and how you value you on how you're going to carry this. So again, valuing and Jupiter squaring Uranus today, it's a double-edged sword, two-way street, however you want to express it. But the bottom line is intend for the best. Intend for the highest good of all. And your highest good especially. So, now on January 20th is a big day. Prior to that, on the 19th, the Sun enters Aquarius and totally changes from the Capricorn energy to Aquarian energy. We already have Jupiter there along with Saturn, so that's going to be accented, and Saturn and Neptune will square on January 20th. Neptune's in Pisces, so there'll be differences between what we hold dear, what's important to us, and what's a realistic outcome for that. So we're already seeing some of that. I'm wearing my peace earrings, aging hippie that I am. That's what I intend. I intend for peace. I intend for the highest level of peace that we can see. Is it going to happen in the snapping of the fingers? No. But it's a process, and it's a road that we're taking, and that's the most important part. So it's what we hold dear and what's realistically possible. And in between those two is what can really happen. And It's not bad. That's still good. So let's all intend for a peaceful day. Intend that things go smoothly. Intend that our country and democracy follows the Constitution and all that it entails, because that's what we hold dear. So then let's allow that to really come together and happen. Will there possibly this Uranus square Mars conjunction, they come together? So two explosive, amazing, powerful planets coming together at 3:37 in the afternoon. So we build up to that. Things don't just happen at 3:37. That energy builds up. So they're both explosive planets. But that, again, is a two-way street. How do we see that? The moon has moved into Taurus, so it's going to be affecting all of this, squaring whatever's happening in Aquarius, coming together with Uranus and Mars. So it's a big day. And it would normally be a big day anyway. But now, with all of these aspects and what is happening in our country, it's going to be a big day. You're feeling this. We all do. We all feel this energy. This energy is happening to all of us. Again, how we use it, direct it, and feel it is totally up to us. It's totally up to you how you feel, direct, and handle this energy. So we have the power to be in that state of confusion and flux and fear that's happening with this energy, or you have the power to see things moving peacefully along, because that's the energy that is the most comfortable for you. So allow that energy to ripple out into the universe, that peaceful energy that you're feeling. Allow it to ripple, and you have an effect. You totally have an effect. And that's what's really important. How are you going to direct this energy for the highest good of yourself and the highest good of all? That's the question. How will you do that? In the meantime, first thing happening is, besides the Jupiter square Uranus today, which really is a fantastic aspect. It's a really amazing aspect because it's so inspiring and creative. So that we're looking at as really something exciting for today. And it could even mean you're just setting the intentions, writing down, creating how you want this day to happen, how you want this week to happen, how you want to see it unfold. All of that is inspirational, and that's what's important as well. So the sun moves into Aquarius on the 19th in the afternoon, and just before all these things happen. So we're going to move into what are the qualities of Aquarius that can help inspire us and can create in this groundwork for this. So the qualities of Aquarius are independence, our uniqueness, its creation, its originality, it's being lively, it's unpredictable and inventive. So you can imagine all this energy coming together this week, having all of this happen. So that is amazing in itself. So let's move forward with these inventive, far-sighted energies and see what can happen. So right now, while I'm shuffling the cards, please set an intention that all is well. Set an intention that things are going beautifully. And I'm going to see if I've missed any comments because I moved back and wasn't sure. Oh, yay, thank you. I'm on public. Deborah's there. Yes. Don't touch it. You are so right, Ruth. She knows me. Yes. That's why she's there. So whatever comments are there that I missed, I will follow up with when we're done. So while I'm shuffling the cards, what would be a beautiful thing to do is to intend how you see today unfolding, how you see this week unfolding for the highest good of you and the highest good of all. See this peaceful, loving planet that we have and how these energies are moving. The pendulum is swinging back. You know, we go and it swings back and forth as politically and personally. So let's see all these energies working together for our highest good and working together for all. Okay, here we go. We have 8 cards. And this is the energy of Aquarius. We all have Aquarius in our chart. Whether you have a planet in that sign, it doesn't matter. It's still part of your chart and part of who you are. So these energies apply now, and especially with Jupiter and Saturn in Aquarius now, and the Sun moving into Aquarius on Tuesday. So here we go. The first question for this reading, and by the way, anytime that if you are an Aquarian sun sign or Aquarian rising sign and you would like to have this reading for you personally, just let me know that you saw it on Facebook, that I did that, and you'd like to have it for yourself. So anytime that happens, it will be half price for you. So if this is something that you would want, this is a half an hour reading, normally $97, it would be $49. So take advantage of that, because it's just another half price reading in the month. Along with the special for the month, there's also this opportunity as well. So the first, what ties must be cut free? Interesting, because this is the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands is the Leo Queen. So why is this card here? What ties must be cut free? And she is not the more self-centered fire sign like the Aries king, which is the King of Wands. This is the Queen of Wands. So she's generally nurturing, she's generally caring. So if we're asked what ties must be cut, this is really interesting, because yes, we do come first. Yes, how we think about ourselves and what happens around us is part of that. But it means that it's time for us to move out into a more caring of those around us. The flip side of this is, if you have spent more attention on the outside and and you feel like you've got to take care of everything that's going on, because she's very nurturing. The Leo rules the 5th house of the zodiac. So it's about children and family and all the fun stuff that's going on. So if we're really focused in that area where we haven't been taking care of ourselves and thinking about the greater good, how we react to the positive part, our circle has been too small. Now you know that I'm always the one that says that you come first, and that's true. But in these energies, we have to send that same love and caring out into community. And this is what the word I'm hearing. It's about community. So do recognize that yes, we're going inward, and yes, we're setting that intention for ourselves and for our highest good and sending that out into the universe. And that's the part that's important, is that making sure that that stuff gets out there. Also, the Wands, fire sign. It's your inner spirit. It's also that passion, and it must be directed. And that's part of what this card is saying too, is that come within and direct it outward in a different way, that's in a more peaceful way, that's in a more caring way. So it's just redefining this card and this energy for the times now, and especially for the times now, because January is just a big month with a lot of stuff going on, and this week especially is the highlight of the month. So it's about directing that energy to create the world that you want to see, with that nurturing, caring thought still out of the Leo Queen, the Queen of Wands, but doing it in that way that is peaceful. So in other words, what I said, intend for yourself that beautiful piece of peace inside, but make that ripple out, that it swells up so fully inside of you that it overflows to ripple out into the universe. This was an interesting card, so I was really, my left brain was thinking, what? How could that be? And then I had to sit and get the message with this. What is my most original quality? And this is the Ace of Cups. Cups is the water sign. Cups is about emotion. So if this is the Ace of Cups, then what is my most original quality? That I have new ideas, that I have new ways of sharing my love with others. Cups is emotion. Cups are its feelings. So I have new ways of sharing that love. I have new ways of looking at my feelings and redirecting them, redefining them. Because the real word for this week is redefine. And so how am I going to redefine those feelings? Am I going to look at, because, it's going to be hard not to see what's happening this week. Am I going to look at it with anger and be disheartened? Or am I going to still envision that positive thing that I want, because that feels better? The whole point is, what feels better for you? As you watch what's happening in real time, having that fear, or do you feel better with still holding those wonderful, powerful thoughts of love and peace for our country to come together at some point? It's not going to happen overnight. This didn't happen overnight. It was a process. It's going to be a process to get it back together. So let's take that time in meditation and peace and whatever to get that out there. 3, what brings me to life? Now, this is an amazing reading because this is number 1, court cards. We also have 4 major arcana cards out of these 8 cards. Half of the cards are major arcana. Now, major arcana and tarot are the 22 cards of the 78 card deck that are higher level cards, that are more soul level cards that are within this. And that's what these cards speak to. And so it's totally different from the other 56 cards that are like our regular playing cards that have 4 suits, numbered cards, and court cards. So within this question is, what brings me to life? And if you see her, this is the Empress. What brings me to life? Notice the heart. Notice the heart shapes in all of this. And within that is, in her skirt is the tree of life. What brings me to life is caring about humanity. It starts with me first, but it's about that higher level of caring about humanity. Now, the Empress, can you imagine taking it to the level of an Empress? Taking it to that even higher vibration. What effect do you have? Not only on yourself, but on the world around you. So it's taking it to that level of knowing that all of this is possible and can happen. And that's why I say I love this, and I love the red in there because it's passionate about this feeling and caring. And the tree of life. That means the tree of life. That means everlasting, ever loving. 4, why are relationships so important? This is the Temperance card. Another major arcana card. And here we have the Iris, which is about spiritual inspiration. That was my mother's favorite flower. Her name was Arliss, but people never heard that name before, so they would call her Iris. So here we have the water flowing back and forth. We have the water flowing back and forth between the balance. So it's the balancing. Water always, when it shows up in some way, is about healing and wellness and that change and that moving into that next level with healing. Not staying in the energy of healing, but actually moving into that wellness. So here we have that going back and forth. And the question is, why are relationships so important? That's because we're always sifting and sorting through the relationships. What does that mean? When I was younger even, I thought that every relationship that I had and contact that I had in life, and every person that was kind and generous to me at that moment should remain in my life forever and ever. Well, I changed, and I moved past those times where I needed that support, and it was grateful and loving, and I was happy that they were there because I learned a lot. But then there's time to move on. And what you may be finding is that the relationships that are really heartfelt for you now are the ones that are most important to you. Does that mean that you're saying something bad about the other relationships in your life? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, because they all were there for a reason, and sometimes it's to teach you and sometimes to expand you. It's all about the reason that people are there, and sometimes it's just because you love them beyond measure. I mean, that's my Teddy for sure. So why are relationships important? Because number one, we learn from them. We learn and grow. We learn, maybe you've been putting up with some behaviors or the way people have treated you for a while, and you have decided, maybe it's time to let that go, because I value myself more, and value is part of what's happening around here now in the energies. So I value myself more than to allow people to be treating me this way. So I really don't need that any longer. Now, does that mean that if it's somebody really close in family that you're going to say, hey, goodbye? Maybe. But it could also be that you learn to just accept them for who they are and not let them interfere with your peaceful countenance. Whatever that happens to be. This is so about learning, and learning is healing, because we learn to let go of those old notions that we had about ourselves and others, and we learn to expand into more of that love section. And that's what's happening now. We're seeing things that we do not want to keep in our awareness all the time. And we want to expand the opposite. So it's really within the contrast of life, we really learn how to expand ourselves to be even better. And the very fact that we have the second major arcana card here is all about expansion. What is unpredictably a good thing? Here's another major arcana card. This is amazing. This is the Hierophant. I love that the cards themselves are such a catalyst to connection to the message. This is so amazing. I really love it. This is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a very spiritual card. The Hierophant is about our spirituality and your connection to Source and the higher realms and all of that. And sometimes it can involve rules and sometimes not. If more rules are involved with your spirituality, it may be a more religious bent, and that's okay. Whatever that happens to be, the question is, why is unpredictability a good thing? Watching the sometimes unpredictable events that we see allows us to know that Source, our higher power, our higher self, has a greater connection to that change. We have the opportunity to make that change. So why is unpredictability a good thing? Because it says, you know what? I'm not in charge of this. I see it all unfolding beautifully, and I'm turning it over. I'm surrendering to Source to allow it to happen. And that gives us that opportunity. We're not in charge of that, other than our positive thoughts. And that's a good connection to have. That's one of the reasons, in fact, I said out loud to my higher power, I really, really love working with the cards and doing the readings, because I love that connection that I have when that occurs. And of course, the answer that I heard immediately was, you always have that. And so do you. You don't need a catalyst like the cards to have that happen. You always can rely on that. It's always there. How does my inventiveness serve me? Okay, the Tower card, the card that relates to Uranus. How does my inventiveness serve me? It allows me to make change. And this is so Aquarius, because Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. It allows me to make change. Now, does it have to look like this? No. It does not. It can be a more subtle change. But how does my inventiveness serve me? I can change things for the better. I can make things happen for the better. I can create something for the better. But in order to do that, I must tear down something that's old. Or I redefine it. Sometimes in redefining the old to create something new, it can be just as dramatic as this card. However it happens, once you're on your path, this kind of happens to me. I'm sure it must happen to you, and and if it does, that's great, and if it doesn't, but once you're on that path, once you have that inspiration to do whatever it is that you're seeking to do, it's almost like nothing can stop you. You are just on that path, on that road, and you can't stop. Because if you stop, that hurts more than continuing forward. That's what this card feels like. That sometimes staying on that path that you know is the right path for you can be the only thing that you can do, because stopping hurts too much. And that's what this card relates to as well. What is my vision for the future? My vision for the future is it's time to let some stuff go. Whether it's personally, whether we see it for our nation, whatever that happens to be, we've got to let some of the stuff go because it doesn't serve us any longer. It's redefining what's important. It doesn't even have to be finding something new. It's just redefining what's important in order to move forward. And in that process, it is letting things go. Whether it's thoughts, behaviors, people, things, cleaning out that closet and finding stuff that's like, what was I doing with this? I've had some of those. Or it's like, I thought I threw this thing away. I'm so glad I found it again. So it all depends on how you look at it and in what level it is. But at some point, for us to redefine who we are, to redefine our focus, to redefine where we're going, we have to let some old stuff go. We can't keep it in all the time. It's like me thinking that every relationship and every person that I met in my life that was of any importance at all, no matter what level of importance, I had to hold on to for the rest of my life. That was a heavy load to carry, because many times they didn't need to be part of my life, nor did they want to. But it was time to let it go. And in redefining what your path is, how you see your focus, how you see your direction, some stuff just has to go. And that's all there is to it. Now, summary card is not the most pleasant card. Summary card is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about, man, what she just said, this is such a nightmare. How am I supposed to do this? I don't really know. This is kind of crazy. So, yes, you can feel like this is a nightmare. I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but you can. And it's about redefining, sorting through, writing it all down, making your list, following a process, whatever that happens to be. But your vision for the future should not be nightmarish. It should be exciting and joyful and fantastic and wonderful. All of those things that make it worthwhile, that bring you joy to your life. So the nightmare may just call out to you those things that are time to let go. Now, I'd show you that card about letting go, but I just knocked it off onto the floor. I'm going to have to pick it up before we do our 4 people for their single card readings. But it may be time to let those things that appear nightmarish go. Or it may be time to redefine how you feel about it. In any sense, in any word, the whole, whatever this is saying to you today, this is all about you're having an impact on the change. You being part of the change. Be the change you want to see in the world, which is, sort of a brief quote, rendition of the Gandhi quote, because he didn't quite say it that way. But be the change you want to see in the world. And the point is, you have the power. It's all right here. You have the power to do this. That's what makes it so exciting. So you're going to have to excuse me for a minute while I pick up the card I dropped. And almost dropped some more with my cord. But I got it. Okay. We're ready. First I have Peggy Lee. Peggy Lee, I don't get to ask you if you have a question because I don't have to do that. But on Thursday, I will, I promise. We have our online tarot gallery reading this Thursday. And it's every third Thursday and every third Tuesday at noon for those people that don't do evenings. And I still have spots on a Tuesday, and I would love to get more people involved because the group is 10 to 12 people, and that group number is so exciting in terms of the synergy and energy that it contributes. We just had our Tarot Flow group this past Thursday and developed, thank you Angie, the Hell Yeah blend based on the energies. And that's because part of what we were talking about within the group was that if you are faced with something to make a decision on, it can be, it has to be a hell yeah to do it. It can't be, oh, I don't know if it's hell yeah, I don't know if it's hell no. That's not the way to make a decision, or to, especially if it's important. And if it's a hell no, for sure, don't do it. But it needs to be a hell yeah. This is really what I want to do. So that's what the essential oil blend has been named. And Angie, we do this type of reading, a single card reading, and then all the energies from that come into the blend. So it's really exciting for this blend. Okay, here we go. Peggy Lee first. And by the way, pardon me if I'm not commenting on anything. I have been instructed by Ruth not to touch anything on the screen, so I can't scroll up to see them because once I touch the screen and scroll down, it doesn't move anymore. So I will respond to you when we finish and on Facebook. Okay, Peggy Lee, you have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands. Okay, this is not about conflict and chaos. This is about lots of things happening in your life and prioritizing which ones you want to deal with first. It feels to me like, whoo, things have just gone kaboom for you, and things have really moved into this space of, wow, look at what's happening in my life. There can be no overwhelmment. Overwhelmment means that the universe has given you everything you want, but you're not ready for it. And I know that you're ready for it. You always have an explosion of wonderful inspiration and ideas. Now it's time to see where I'm going to go with this, because this is chaos. It's not even overwhelming. Well, it can be overwhelming, but I'm feeling that for you. And because it's wands, it's with the passion and the fire of how you want to go through life and what you want to do. So prioritize, because these are things you've asked of the universe, and now it's time to be able to receive them, to be in that energy level, to be able to receive them. Okay, Catherine. Okay, one more shuffle. Here we go. As I said, I'm sorry I can't see the comments, but if Ruth says don't touch it, I don't touch it because she knows what happens when I do that. So she's very right. All right, Catherine. Interesting. Six of Wands. And this is about being on a journey of, and it may pertain to, all of a sudden I had a picture of a little house, that it's all gonna happen. It's all, keep creating, seeing it happen, whatever this decision is, whatever focus you have, whatever outcome it is that you're seeking. Write about it, think about it, create it in your mind as completed and how it's working out for your highest good, but just take your time. And seek help with getting the decision or this accomplished. That's what this person is about. And know you're always guided. But it is just going to be slow going. It's just not going to happen with the snap of the fingers as I used before. It's going to happen. It's just going to take a little bit of time. So just hang in there. It's going to be good. It's going to be fine. It's just not happening as fast as you'd like. And that's part of what you're feeling with the boat slowly moving. And it's like, come on, let's go. Let's get this finished. I've been working on this a long time. I want to have this done. Okay, Angie. Huh, interesting. So, and this is such a reflection of the energies of now, especially with this Jupiter-Uranus square that we have today. Because here we go, the Five of Wands again, Ange. And that may very well be happening because you both are Leos. And so and this is the fire sign. Leo is a fire sign. So there's a lot happening in your life right now. There's a lot going on. And it feels chaotic and it feels overwhelming. But just take a breath. Prioritize what you can do now. Do it by that. That's how I like to prioritize, because if I look at the whole picture, I'm overwhelmed and I know that I'm getting everything that I want, so I don't want to stay in that state. So then I prioritize what needs to be handled first or what I care about first and just go ahead and do that. The looking at the whole thing gets really, again, overwhelming. And overwhelming is the universe is giving you everything you want and you're not ready for it. And I don't want to say to the universe, I'm not ready for what you're giving me. I want to be ready. So I have to take that breath and go back and center and then follow a pattern of prioritizing or making a list of, okay, what is the thing that I really want to do or really think is time for it to be done first? And once I start working at it that way, then it's one step at a time and it's not so much. Because if the universe is giving me everything I ask for sure, I'm going to do everything in my power to be ready for it. Here we go. Veronica. Okay, here it is. This is interesting. This is the Lover's card. And when you look at the card, you're thinking, Lovers? What, are you kidding? This doesn't look like a Lover's card to me. And that's very true. It really doesn't. What this is about merging yin and yang, merging light and dark, merging your higher self with the ego, merging those both sides with the help of spirit to create the person that you are to be. Because you have both. Both of these things exist within you, whether it's the masculine, feminine energy, whatever that happens to be. How are we going to merge those to create that happiness and joy that we really want? Because we're on that goal, and it can even be thoughts. Let's put it that way as well. Yes, this is what I really want to accomplish. I'm moving forward, but, and then the other side of you says, do you really think you can do this? Do you really think you're capable of this? No, let's not go ahead and do this. Wait, let's merge together. Again, yes, I am. And I'm going to take that energy that you have just said I can't to make it I can. It's that merging of the two. It's, again, making sure that that path is the focus and what you really want to be on. And many times you create, I'm speaking generally you, Veronica, not just you, that you create bumps in the road when you're feeling a little less confident or a little less capable of doing it. Just know that path is unfolding every step of the way. It's not changing, it's unfolding. It's not diminishing, it's unfolding. Whenever you feel like you're on that path and the weeds start showing up and the brambles and you're trying to weave your way through, that's something that has been created through lack of self-confidence or believing in yourself. And just know that that's always there. You always, 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 always have that. That's what's so amazing. So this was a wonderful day, and I just was called to just pick up one more card, and it turned out to be, again, which was in the reading, the Ace of Cups. Okay. It's time to be inspired and inspire with love and caring and sending that message out into the universe. That's what we need right now. More understanding and acceptance and caring. And feeling the joy of that is really what's important. So the special for this month still is the New Year Ahead 2021, and it is $49, half price. And again, if you want the reading for Aquarius, because this was pretty insightful, I have to say, as it applies to you, that again, 30 minutes, and it's half price at $49, which is normally $97. Just mentioned that I did this on the Facebook Live and that you would like to have it as well. Online Tarot Gallery reading meets this Thursday. There is still one opening left, and because it is a subscription, and there are still more openings on Tuesday, the third Tuesday of the month at noon. So enjoy yourself. Enjoy this Sunday. There are beautiful energies, and please set intentions, really amazing positive intentions for this week in seeing our country move forward in peace and transition into a loving country where we can all come together. Where we can all come together. So again, enjoy, and remember, joy has your name on it. Have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you.